Oh, hi Felicities. I'm just joshing. Hi Felicities, this is Jean Victor and you're tuned into the channel with no name. I'm going to be talking about the Birkin 35 and my Birkin dupe from Ainifeel, which is no longer available on Amazon. But I wanted to compare them, talk about it, and then show you the organizer that I picked up. This is the recent pickup of the Birkin 35 in the Courchevel leather, and this is like maybe the 90s series. The Courchevel leather is now replaced with the Epsom leather, but this is definitely super lightweight. I will insert a picture of the anatomy of a Birkin, since there's this is how the bag looks. Purse organizer that actually helps a little with the shape. I don't even think I would use this more for shape. For me, it's more organization. And I have little pouches, but this does help when you have slip pocket here, a pocket right here, and so it organizes it on the internal. Obviously you see the zip pocket here and then a slip pocket in the front. This is a very well used pre-loved vintage-ish Birkin, and it's definitely caving in, and yeah, I'm just super excited. We'll see how this fares in my collection again. Birkins just don't last. And then this one, if y'all know, is from Ainifeel. So this one is from Ainifeel. They are no longer available on Amazon, and I'm pretty sure there's some legal issues around that, since a lot of the various dupes that was on Amazon, you don't see them no more. Like, there's still a few, but like back then, like when I bought this, there was a shiz ton. And what I will say is I used and abused this bag. This was my go-to tote bag between my Longchamp Le Pliage, which is probably one of my favorite totes, and then this one, because it's just very carefree, because I didn't spend 10 grand on it. This one also says, you fake like this bag, and I want to give a shout out to Sonique Saturday, who gave me the idea, because she had the you fake like this Birkin, and so I was like, what if instead of Birkin, we wrote bag? And my sister actually, Be Mad Lettering, I'll put her information somewhere over here, and I think she has the YouTube channel now. Who knows? Maybe she's making content because we're on these stay-at-home orders. She tagged it up with this, and so I really like this. I think it's funny. When I've used it, people are just like, that's funny. And it's the same anatomy of a Birkin. Obviously, it's a dupe. It doesn't have anything. It did have the Ainifeel on here, but I used acetone to take that out. And while this one is Courchevel leather, this is also real leather, but I think the interior may be synthetic, and the exterior is like, you know, it's leather, but it's not the best cut. But I think it's still pretty good. And I also love the mushiness. That is one of my favorite looks for the Birkin. I love to wear it very casually and just kind of flailed out like this. But sometimes you want organization. And what's really cool about this purse organizer, I'm gonna link the information below, since I don't actually know. I think this was like 20 bucks. 24 bucks, something like that. It's felt, and what's really cool, as you can see, it has the kind of like almost you know, the shape, the silhouette of the Birkin, so it's not too boxy. This fits perfectly for the 35. And as you can see, it totally changes up the vibe of this, because it really makes it quite structured. The allure of a Birkin is that it's a Hermes Birkin. Most of the BZs, they get it from the Birkin 35s and up, and even the Birkin 30s is like, they complain about how heavy it is, how impractical it is, and to be real, how many people do you see on a daily carrying a B30, 35? To be real, like, I go shopping a lot in Rodeo Drive in South Coast Plaza, and it's not a practical bag. All those bloggers and those bag addicts, they use this, but they're just like, all they can really, like, there's a lot to complain about it. I think for me, I don't really mind. I don't mind having heavy bags. You should feel my Longchamp Le Pliage toe on a daily, on how I use it. But I think that's the honest truth, and so that's why I got this dupe a while back, before I had my first real Birkin. is because why am I gonna spend $10,000 if that's really kind of the sentiment I was getting when I was watching all these videos about people lusting and searching for Birkin 35s, Birkin 30s, and are they carrying it? To be real. And so the thing that I lucked out with this is that the Courchevel leather is really light. This is actually pretty lightweight, but lightweight for me. So I didn't pay 10 grand for this since this is pre-loved and this is an older model. But that it's still, you know, it can still get a lot of use and it looks really great. Like, for what it is, for the square A year, like, it's in pretty immaculate condition. Like, yeah, albeit there is some structure loss, like, it looks good. But to be real, it's just a Birkin, and that's part of why we want to carry it. It's honestly the same way on how I feel about a Chanel bag. I think it is overrated, but I think overall the structure of this is a perfect like work tote or school tote if you're a top handle kind of person, because this will get heavy. And to be real, okay, it's right here, that's why. This is my Longchamp Le Pliage, and I should really show you a video on like how I stuff this, because I stuff the bejesus out of this bag, and I sometimes don't even wear it on the shoulder. I top handle it. I don't really mind heavy bags. But that's the frank truth about like Birkins. Most people, they just want it for the whole status of it, to be freaking real. I think that it's actually quite functional for me in terms of my daily use, and that's why when I had this dupe, it really showed me that, yeah, if I were to get a Birkin, I'd actually use it. I wouldn't just sit on the shelf. And I use and abuse this so much. Like, you can actually see, like, even the glazing on the handle is kind of coming up, and probably that's the quality of it, but also like, as you can see, like, look at the darkening. I use this like a mother, and this one was only like 120, 130, and I thought it was worth it. I got my wear out of it, and I can still pass this on to anybody that, you know, is in my circle if they want a tote bag and just kind of play around with the silhouette of a Birkin. I've had Birkins, I've had a Birkin, Hack Birkin 32, I've also had an Ardennes Sable, and a Birkin 40, and not all of it was featured in my channel. And I think that if you're looking into the model of a Birkin, you really have to think about what's realistic for you, and if you want to top handle or put on the crook of your arm a bag. It might not be the most comfortable, it might not be the easiest bag to carry, especially in this size, because most folks like go for the petite one, but to be real, even the Birkin 25, like, that one you have to top handle all the time. It can't even go in the crook of your arm because the handles right here, it's so tiny so that you can't really put your hand through it. And so I think this is a good size for folks that are gonna use the bag, that are gonna use it for to carry quite a lot of things, and that's why I say it is a good work tote if you're okay with a little bit of weight. I think that the Courchevel or the style of the Epsom is probably some of the more carefree ones because people want that style. Well, I'm getting this dupe. This one is obviously like kind of like the grained leather, grain cap leather, who knows. Oh yeah, this one like I think is a popular, like this one would probably make the most sense if you were to look for a dupe, like look for this style of leather, because it's a lot better for wear, like wearing. It's a lot better because the way it wears, like, you're not really gonna notice too much of it. And what I think is that it's actually, you know, I will say it's a really good dupe as I'm looking at it next to each other. It's pretty good. I think it's the structure of the side that's probably not the closest, and I just like how this really like kind of caves in. Since this one caves in, and maybe it's because of the style of leather, it caves in very differently. But I just love that mushy look. Like, I don't think it's sad. I think it's like this bag has gone through things and it's experienced life. I did already do the video, and I'll link of what you can stuff in there. What I can do is I can show how to pack this and then show it between the two bags or maybe one of them. But that this purse organizer will probably be really helpful because it does have quite a lot of compartments. And that I think if you're looking into a Birkin, if your first step is I want to stunt, then yes, get a Birkin, an Hermes Birkin. B, if you want to use this as a work tote, a Birkin 35 is the most ideal. If you're okay with weight. If you don't like weight on a bag, a Birkin 30 will probably be better, but that's debatable depending on really like your arm strength and just your ability to hold something top handle for a long period of time. And so maybe a Birkin 25 will be the ideal. And it's also harder to get. And on the pre-loved market, it'll be priced way higher than retail, and they're rarer. And you can't put it probably on the crook of your arm, you'll probably have to top handle it. And so for me, I don't like, yes, I do like it. It's a Birkin. We've all kind of been cultured and conditioned to like it, like, ooh, status. But I like it because if I didn't know this was a Birkin, but I did see the silhouette of the bag, I totally use it. I love top handle bags. I've wanted a Louis Vuitton steamer. I think that one's a really cute bag. I think top handles are probably my favorite silhouette, and that's why I like the Birkin. But on the Hermes end, my favorite silhouette is the Hermes Kelly, and I think and without the shoulder strap, I think I like that silhouette better because it is more dressy, and you can dress it down, but you have that option. A Birkin is always casual. I don't get when people wear Birkins to like weddings and stuff. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't get the look. And maybe if it's a smaller one, it might fit, but like, it's just not. Like, wear a Bulgari Serpenti flap, you know, wear a Chanel flap, wear an Alma, but a Birkin is it just is a casual look. I feel like I just bashed on a Birkin for like 16 minutes or something, and that wasn't my intent. I think it's just for me to show y'all the honest truth about it, but I do like the silhouette because I think it's quite functional if you have a proper organizer and know how to use it and are okay with carrying it. And I definitely will say if you're not ready to spend the money, get a dupe. Thanks for tuning in, Felicities.